Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to all who are here, whether it's morning, evening, noon, night, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you have a question, please put a Q with a colon in front of it, not in front of the Q, in front of the question, so it comes up to the top of the queue. And, I've already got some comments here. Anyway, I have a very special guest today, something I never would have thought of, and I'm absolutely intrigued. And we have 4 questions already that I will be popping up on the screen for you. And we're going to get started with my guest here shortly. It's going to be a short one. No visuals, none of that. This is strictly pure information dump. And I'm excited. Hopefully, you're excited. Technically speaking, I'm trying to kill a minute here before the show starts. But that's just me because I digress quite a bit. There will be mistakes today, and I guarantee you I have already planted one mistake. Please let me know in the comments if you found it. Let me know where you're from, and obviously, without going and saying it out loud, let me know if you can hear me, see me, whatever. Any questions you have, likes, dislikes. I like the dislikes because I like confrontation. So we'll see what happens. Let's cut this one short and get right on to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Good afternoon, evening, or wherever you're from. This guy with the big head next to me, I made his head big for a reason. He has got so much information. Hopefully, what was that cartoon where they just deflated as you start talking? All the information comes out. I was probably long before your time. I was a kid when it happened, and I know how old you are, so we'll see what happens there. We're going to have fun today, and this is my special guest, Ken Krill, and I can't even describe what the heck it's about, but let's see what the world has to say. And can I display that? No, I can't. Anyway, I've got 3 questions, 4 questions. How damn many questions do I have? I've got 4 questions to ask you, and we're going to probably stay on this screen most of the time. You don't need me on the main cam. We don't have any other stuff. So we're just going to have fun right here on this scene and not deal with anything else. Is that okay?
It works for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Krill. Ken, let me get the first question to you. What's this big deal about 10K and free advertising from Google? I know it's real. The audience would like to know if it's real. And what else is in there? All the rest is going to flow. Let me add it to the broadcast. I just saw that little thing pop up. There's the question. Let me move it around so we can see it a little bit better. How's that?
I can't see anything, so it's all good. So let me just jump in and kind of address this. So you guys saw a little promotion of $10,000 in free advertising. You're hearing, you're probably thinking, what the hell is all that? Well, the bottom line is that our friends at Google have a program that will give qualified people 10,000 US dollars of free advertising every single month, $120,000 a year. It's delivered to you daily at $329 per day into your own AdWords account. Now, it's not display advertising. It's not YouTube advertising. It's Google search advertising, which means that the people that see your ads are searching for what you are selling. That's the best kind of advertising. And the cool thing is that it is 100% absolutely free with effectively no limits on the time that you can have it, meaning that $329 a day every single day forever, as long as you don't screw it up. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, so what's the catch? How do I get this money? Where do I sign up? I'm in. Give it to me, baby. $120,000 a year to promote my business. I want it. I want it now. Is that what you're thinking? Because if it is, pop it in the chat. If there's a chat or some way you can communicate and let us know. Because if you're not thinking that, you probably have some kind of a deficiency. We need to have some intervention, because who in the hell does not want another $120,000 a year to promote your business? Question.
No, me. I want it.
You want it. Of course you want it. You're
Can
a
I
smart
double it?
man. Of course you want it. That's why we're here. So here's how you get it. Here's the catch. Google only wants to give it to you if you are a non-profit entity. Because if you're a nonprofit and Google gives you the ad dollars, they can write it off as a donation. So over the past 20 years, Google has given out over $10 billion, not million, billion with a B, dollars of these ad grants to nonprofits in now over 65 countries around the planet. $10 billion. They want to give this away because they get to write it off. Oh, they're smart. They're real smart. But you may be thinking, but wait a minute, Ken, I don't have a nonprofit. I don't want a nonprofit. I can't run a nonprofit. It's like, oh my God, this isn't going to make any sense. Plus, a nonprofit makes no money and I want to make money. And so I have two words for you. Patience, grasshopper. Because here's the thing you need to bear in mind. I know you want to save the whales. I know you want to change the world. I know you want to feed the children. All that. You want to get water to villages in Africa. Those are all very important goals and things to do. Google only cares about three things with respect to these nonprofits. Number one, that you are asking for more volunteers. You're recruiting volunteers. Number two, raising money for your charity, whatever that may be. Number three, for education and awareness. And ding, 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 ding. That's where we're going to sit today. Now, I was at the theater the other night. I happen to be in Australia at the moment. I was at the theater the other night, and I was talking to the director of the theater, and I happened to ask him. I said, are you guys a nonprofit? Yeah, we are. Are you taking advantage of the $10,000 in grant money? What grant money? They had no idea. So they'll use the grant to sell theater tickets, because people are searching for theater in Sydney, Australia. And it's a great theater, by the way, the Hayes Theater. So that's perfect for those guys, right? They can raise money. They can do whatever they want. For you as a business owner, whatever your business may be, you want to create an awareness program. Take the front end of your sales funnel, and we move that over to the nonprofit. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. First, one of our clients is the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. Now, their whole mission is to teach parents how to talk to their kids so that the kids don't kill themselves, because teen suicide is up like 8x since the beginning of COVID. 8 times the number of teen suicides. That's beyond my comprehension. And it's got to stop, obviously. So what they're doing is giving away a free book to parents. They're not raising money. They're not looking for volunteers. There's no economic benefit in there, whatever. They're just trying to save lives. So they're creating an awareness program. Google loves them for that. Okay. So let's say, for example, that you are, a roofer, for example, and you run a roofing company. You could run a campaign in your nonprofit that is an awareness program of how to make the best roofing decision and not get ripped off. You could have the Cleveland Roofing Association to protect that. Now, you heard earlier today, if you were paying attention, to my partner and friend, Ray Ronaldo. And I'm going completely blank on Ray's last name all of a sudden. Ray Santana. Anyway, so Ray helped me set up the Digital Builders Association based in Washington, D.C. It's a trade association, a nonprofit trade association. And we run trainings and seminars and educational programs. So all you do is you set up the nonprofit. Actually, we set it up for you. That's what our business is at 123 Nonprofit. We set up your nonprofit. We strategically align it with your for-profit, and we run traffic to the nonprofit for awareness. So I'll give you another suggestion. Say you were a personal injury attorney. Well, if you had a drunk driving nonprofit, it was the family substance abuse association or something. I don't know. We'll come up with a cute name for that. And what you do is you run ads for the what to do if you're arrested for drunk driving campaign. And what happens? You have a consumer guide to what happens when you get arrested, written by your law firm. Well, if they get in trouble, who are they going to call? Drunk driver busters. They're going to call you because you're the expert. So that's how we set things up. And that makes Google happy and everyone wins. Your for-profit business still does its business. The referral comes from the nonprofit. And guess what? You don't have to worry about any of the other big ticket worries of a nonprofit in terms of salaries or anything else, because all it's doing is giving out education. So when it comes to even your nonprofit tax return to fill out that 990N form, it takes 5 minutes and costs, if you do it yourself, it costs nothing. If you hire someone, it'll cost you $400. Nothing to get $10,000 a month from Google. So that's the whole plan in a nutshell. Who could use an additional 10K a month from Google? That's the question. Can you use 10K a month to build your? Could you build your business with $10,000 a month? I think so. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Setting it up really hard. Excuse me. The comment is, I've heard it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
But what you said so far, it's not a nightmare.
Well, it's because we do it for you. See, for most people that do it, listen. The worst lawyers in the world are the ones that try to be lawyers themselves. So to set up the corporation and to do it the right way, takes one thing. To apply for and obtain the nonprofit designation from the IRS, if you're American based, that's something else. And for those of you because I know you work with a lot of people that are getting government contracts. If you love working with the government, have at it, baby. But if you do this thing wrong, it will take you months and months and months to get approved. Typically, we can get a nonprofit as a 501c3 approved in anywhere from 3 weeks to 5 weeks. Average has been 5 weeks. Right now, they're running a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe end of year stuff backed them up a little bit. But typically, our average has been 5 weeks to get a 501c3 approved, which people are used to waiting up to 9 months to get that done. We know what we're doing. So that's where we make it easier. The other side of the coin to bear in mind is that the operational side of a nonprofit, if you're running a true services-oriented nonprofit. So my first job after college was running the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in Massachusetts. We had programming, we had employees, we had, initiatives, we had research things, and we had a whole budget that we had to manage, and that ran as a big business on its own. We're not telling you to do that. We're having the nonprofit be the vehicle in order to utilize Google's generosity. You're still going to do good in the world because you're still going to provide value, education, services, and that sort of thing in the scope of education and awareness. And that's important because people need to be aware of how to best handle their health, how to best handle consumer issues and so on, how not to get ripped off. One of our clients sells walk-in bathtubs, and his big concern is that seniors are paying tens of thousands of dollars more than they should be, getting ripped off by some of these tub companies. And his nonprofit is designed to help people make intelligent choices. And by the way, he fulfills by selling them tubs by far less than they would go elsewhere and get a better deal. So it's all about that level of service, but you're not putting yourself in a position where you have to worry about volunteers and you got to worry about staff and all this. That's where it gets crazy. And that's where you have to have bigger separations. But there's no economic challenge with respect to separate budgets for the IRS because you're not operating it in that direct mentality, unless you want to, but we're not suggesting that. So that's where it becomes easy.
I have two new questions. One's on the screen.
I can't see it.
Our people are way too busy to do this, blah, blah, blah. Kill that.
Yep.
And I got one right behind it, and you're going to love the next guy.
Okay. So yeah, of course you're busy. You're running a profitable business. So what we've done at 123 Nonprofit is basically everything for you. And when I say everything, we set up the corporation, we apply for the 501c3 from the IRS, we build out the website for the nonprofit because you have to have a website to be able to get the Google grant. We apply for the Google grant, we manage the ads, we do everything with except for one thing. And that is, we don't know what your content is. We don't know what your offer is going to be. So we need that content from you, at which point we build it all out. We run the ads, we optimize the ads, we make sure you're in compliance with Google's regulations, because it's not the same as the traditional ad program that we have. So is it easy? Yeah, because all you're doing is paying us and we're doing it for you. And that's the beauty of this whole project, is that doing it yourself. Listen, I would personally, I'd rather get a root canal than run Google ads. I have a team that does that. So they take care of it. Ray's team runs it, and I love them for it because I get to sleep, and they get to they're the geeks. They love all that not for me.
Speaking of which,
so
guess who's here?
Yeah. Who's here? Is Ray here?
This is great. Does it work in any countries?
That's a great question. The answer is yes, 65 plus countries.
Of course. You know who asked it? Ray Santana, no relation. I've already verified.
Well, but he keeps teasing that he knows Carlos. So I don't know. Yeah, Google's program is now available in 65 plus countries. The thing to bear in mind is that each country has different requirements for a nonprofit. So we do nonprofits in Canada all the time. Very easy, very fast. We can do nonprofits in the UK. Relatively easy, relatively fast. Australia, no thank you. Not easy, not fast at all. But the cool thing is that you can have a nonprofit based, say, in Canada, serving people in Africa, serving people in California. I run the Alternative Energy Council. We talk about solar and using alternative energy. And guess what? We're putting our energy on the West Coast because they've got a big need for it. So you are not limited by the geography in your ads.
Got another new one for you. Somebody you may recognize. Well, you can't see it, but you'll recognize this based on how it's written. How much time do I need to spend on running the nonprofit? Is it a second full-time job? Now, you know who asked that one, and it wasn't Ray. One guess.
I don't know who that is, actually.
Just say welcome, George.
Welcome, George. So yeah, absolutely. It actually takes more time to run this than to run your marriage, your raising your kids, and your primary business. In fact, you should give it all up right now. Yep, that's it. Kiss it goodbye.
Staying single.
You and me both, cowboy. No, the whole idea of this is that all we're doing is taking the front end of your for-profit business, the lead generation side of it, the lead magnet side of it, that piece of it, and we're moving it over to the nonprofit. So there's really no difference. The only additional anything that you need is at the end of the year, you've got some tax stuff to do. And the tax stuff, like I said, is the 990N, and we can do it for you. I mean, our team does it, $400, so it's nothing. So the answer is, I don't want to make it sound like it's a panacea and then it's all too good to be true. It just happens to be true. Now, the time involved, realistically, is that twice a month, Ray and his team will meet with you to go over your whole ad campaign, to optimize it and look at what's working, what's not working, and so on. Because it doesn't work right off the top. It's not like you turn on a switch and bam, there's a light. Just like any advertising, you start your advertising, we got to determine how it's going to work. Are the keywords working right? Is the ad creative working properly? Is the targeting the optimized? Is the landing page making the right pitch to the visitors? All those things have to be managed. And that doesn't matter whether you're in a Google ad grant program, or whether you're running Facebook ads or anything else. It's part of marketing. So it's no different. But we're going to work with you directly, because if you just set it and forget it, it's not going to work. You've got to absolutely be looking at what happened. Did everyone visit and didn't convert? Did they not even click? Where can we optimize and get better? And it's going to take anywhere between 2 and 3 months. The beauty of this is you don't run out of money, because it's fresh money every day.
It's free.
If you're running Facebook ads, I got to tell you, we ran Facebook ads for a long time to fill some of our events. And I spent $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 at a time to get these ads optimized. By the time we figured it out, we ran out of money and we ran out of time. That's stupid. So this gives you unlimited money, and go on for you have $329 tomorrow to play with. So it's a great question, George, and the answer really is it's part of your business. It's just that we're putting it into a second direction. That's all.
As long as I have the nonprofit, do I continue to get paid $120 a year?
The nonprofit
Yes.
receives a credit. Yes. Yeah. As long as you have the nonprofit and you don't violate their terms, and you won't if we're managing it for you,
Yep.
you're going to get, your nonprofit's going to get. I want to be clear that it is a separate entity. It is not your company. It is the nonprofit that gets the benefit. And you, by the virtue of how wonderful you are, will benefit from the nonprofit. But I'll tell you something else that's so wonderful about this whole thing. And this is what I really love, is that when, for example, if we're selling solar, well, the Alternative Energy Council, which is a nonprofit, leads with solar information and consumer guides. So we're leading with something that's a give, that's nice, not as a for-profit business going out to kind of extract money from you. We're giving you benefit. And that starts to warm people up. It's like, yeah, it's my nonprofit. We're here to help. It's wonderful, the emotional connection that we build with people. So yeah, we love this whole model because it just makes so much sense. And where else are you going to get that? Oh, and one other thing, your competition doesn't know anything about this.
They do now.
Which means, well, your competition doesn't. you know now. But so how much more of a competitive advantage do you have with an extra $10K a month in a marketing budget that they don't have? That's the bottom line. So that's what we specialize in. We've been doing this for a long time. Ray is the genius behind this model. We love working with Google because, again, they want this. They want the write-off. It's a gift, but they manage it. They want to make sure that guidelines are met and that it's not abused. And there are times when we will apply for a grant with a client, they'll get rejected, and then we resubmit the next day and they get accepted because there's humans involved.
Hang up and call back.
Well, that's what happened to me recently. It's like we submitted, I forget which nonprofit it was because I have a few, and they rejected it. And I'm like, we know what we're doing, right? So I talked to the ads team, and I'm like, what happened? We'll just resubmit tomorrow. We resubmitted tomorrow and instantly approved. So it's just like, hello.
Like customer service.
I had to apply for a refund on an airline ticket because my mom was hospitalized and couldn't fly. So I submitted it to the airline, and they came back and said, it's rejected because we don't cover problems with your travel agent. I'm like, dude, that wasn't what it was. The woman was in the hospital. Like, don't you pay attention? So it's incompetence is everywhere, and the key is just managing it and addressing it. So you may find some frustration, but once we get it approved, which typically the approvals are anywhere between 5 working days and 2 to 2 weeks or so, depending upon, what adjustments need to be made. It's a simple process. But again, we know how to take it through. Ray's team gets it through so that you don't have to think about it, because if you do it yourself, it could take you months. So what else you got for me?
Right now, that's about it. Trying to think of. I'm just surprised that Ray and George went to sleep on me.
Well, that at their advanced ages,
it's 5 o'clock
sort of
somewhere.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
What time is it where you are?
It is 8:25 in the morning, and here in Sydney, so I can see your future. And I can tell you it's very overcast.
And I'm sorry. And you show me what you got in each hand.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hang on a second.
This.
There you go. So we got
hot.
We got hot peach tea here, and we have cold soda water with lemon here, just in case. So in any event, probably the question that most people want to ask is, how do we make this thing work? Meaning, how do we play? And so I'll suggest we get on a call. if you believe that your business could use an additional 10K a month of revenue, get on a call. And we have a really great URL for this. You ready for this one? Nonprofitcall.com. Nonprofitcall.com. So you go there, you book a call, you'll get me, you'll get Ray. We'll talk about what your needs are within your business. Does it make sense? If you're a hospital or a university, it won't, because they won't give you the grant. But if you're like a real business,
There's the
the
link
likelihood is,
for everybody.
yeah. Wow. Awesome. Yeah. Nonprofitcall.com. And just book a call. Now, typically for you in North America, it would be a late in the day phone call, because late in the day for you is early in the morning for me. So be mindful of that. So if you see like there's no availability at say 10 a.m., that's because 10 a.m. is 2 a.m. for me. I'm not talking to you at 2 o'clock in the morning. So as much as I may love you, I don't love you that much. So just make sure you do set yourself up with a call, and we'll talk about what serves you. The ROI on this can be stunning. The ROI on this can be stunning. I mean, hell, if you're getting $120,000 a year forever, you pay us once, and then you pay monthly management when the time is right, or you do it yourself if you want. But we'd rather you not do it yourself, because I won't do it myself. I have my team do it. So yeah,
Well, you got
that's
42 other things going on at once. So, I mean,
well, of course. Listen, our business is to run our businesses, right? Every single person watching this that wants 10K a month of advertising should not be running the advertising. They should be running whatever it is that makes you money. And we all know that. I don't do my taxes. I have someone that does that. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't paint my house, right? I hire a painter, because I can do other things that will make me far more money than what it'll cost me to hire that painter. Same thing. And
I
so
heard that when you painted your house last time, most of the shrubbery got painted.
let that be between us kids. Yeah, and listen, we kid about that. I have done sheetrock and electrical and plumbing and so on, because I used to rehab houses. That was my business. But I tell you, it's better to hire somebody, because that way I can buy more houses.
Well, that way you can blame
So,
somebody if there's a mistake.
well, that too. But at the end of the day, it still comes back to us. But the thing about it is, where is our time best spent in our businesses? That's a whole nother conversation on a higher level. As much as you can outsource to others, you should. Sam Parr created a newsletter called The Hustle, which he sold for, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars, if memory serves. For the first 9 months of this newsletter, he was the only employee. He did it all himself. And now he's got his scale, and he's got a whole team, right? So I began my businesses that way too. But honest to God, I shouldn't be doing half of the stuff. You know what I mean? Nor should you. We should be outsourcing as much as we can, so that we can go to the beach or get on a ski mountain,
1 mile
and
away.
Yeah. Where are you? I forget. Where are you?
Venice, Florida.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good ski mountain in Venice, Florida. But the
We don't
beach,
have, our ski mountain is the landfill. That's the only hill
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah. There's one in
I'm on
Fort
the
Lauderdale
Gulf
too.
Coast, where it's the water's clearer. In fact,
Yeah.
I live not too far from Siesta Key Beach, which is the #1 beach in America. The sand, I don't believe it's sand. It feels like baby powder.
Yeah. Siesta Key's nice. We used to, I used to go over to Toledo outside of Sarasota. So yeah, it's
I'm
nice.
southernmost point in Sarasota County,
Okay.
45 minutes
Gotcha.
north of Fort Myers.
Gotcha. Yep. I used to own a lot of property in Fort Myers and Cape Coral back in the day. So, the key to that is, again, do what, when I would buy houses, for example, in Key West, I'm not Key West, in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and so on, I wasn't rehabbing those houses. Those were all done by other people. So to that, because I was out doing deals. You can't do deals if you're painting somebody, if you're painting the house or painting the shrubs, as the case may be. You
In your case,
gotta,
yeah.
right. There you go. I mean, I'll make the deals with Home Depot to get discounts on stuff. Absolutely. Right. But for heaven's sakes, I'm not going to be, down the electrical aisle. Although I got to tell you, having lived in the Caribbean, Home Depot, when I would get back to the mainland US, was like, it was like being on crack. It was like, oh wow, that and going to Publix, going to the grocery store. And for those of you not in Florida or Georgia, Publix is the kind of the preeminent grocery store.
Well, if you're in Virginia,
Great.
it's Giant and Super Giant. So
Right. And then you got Piggly Wiggly, and you got, it's all that. Anyway, so that's the whole thing. If you feel that you could use an additional $120,000 a year forever to build your business, we should probably have a conversation. And nonprofitcall.com is the link to go to. It's a 30-minute call, and we'll figure out what does it make sense for you. And again, it's not for everybody, but if you want to build your business, it should be for you, because I'm never going to turn down extra money for my business. And if you're thinking, but wait a second, do I have a couple of different businesses? Am I limited to only one nonprofit? No, I have many nonprofits. Ray has a number of nonprofits. You can run different nonprofits in different same subject matter, different county, different state. For example, when I ran the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in Massachusetts, that was a Massachusetts chapter, separate nonprofit, separate corporation. There's a Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in New Jersey, in New York, in Maryland, right? You can get different grants for all those too. Let's do one first and get you started, but know that as you choose to expand, Google's happy to play, because every nonprofit is a separate company, separate corporation. So
will they ever run out of tax credits?
Doubtful. They make so much money to begin with. I mean, it's like they still need it. Look at their numbers. It's crazy. So, it's interesting. Microsoft did it for a while, and then they pulled back and stopped, which I think was colossally stupid. Because, with their search engine, they could have easily done more, but don't know why they haven't. That was kind of silly as far as I'm concerned. But the Google thing is, I think, brilliant. And I think to some degree, they don't really market it very much.
How
they
about
could get
not at all? Until I met you, I didn't know it existed.
Yeah. Which I think is foolish, but you know what? It's good for us, because we're, it's like, oh, we've never heard of that. Is it real? Yeah, it's real. And you can Google it. It'll tell you. So, Google. You can Google. We've done that. That's how I got the statistics. That's how I knew it was $10 billion in 65 countries. I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And like I said, some of the countries are really easy to get the designation. Some of the countries take a while. The U.S. we're used to 501c3s in the U.S. In fact, hang on. So what you get is this baby right here. Okay. This is the 501c3 designation. And that's it. And that's what you're going to wait for. Once you have that, you get the grant. You can operate as a nonprofit once you file for it, but you can't get the grant until you actually have it designated. So, but again, we do all that. So, call to action for everybody today, book a call. If you want money from Google, book a call. And to be clear, they don't give you cash. So don't think you're like going down to your bank to cash a check. You're getting a credit in your Google account, and you use it or you lose it. It's not like rollover Verizon phone credits. Okay. It's you use it today or it's gone tomorrow, but that's okay, because tomorrow morning, like Groundhog Day, you got another $329 that just appeared.
Well, here's a question.
So, yeah.
We've did the promo out to every government contractor registered to do business with the government.
Okay.
Are they all prime candidates to do this?
Well,
they all have businesses. They all are legitimate. They're been vetted and scrutinized by the government, and they exist.
I don't see why not. Do they want to build their businesses? If the answer is yes, then they should be using some advertising. Because even if you're doing government business, I don't know that the government is actually is Googling to find a vendor. I don't know how government grant stuff works. You know how all those government contracts
grants work. I've worked with a number of my clients to try to see what grants. I get questions all the time. Can I get a grant? Because and you're leading me into my promo about what about me as it relates to you as we move on a little bit further, which we can do anytime actually. But
Yeah.
they're always saying, how can I get grant money so I can pay me for
Yeah.
my services?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've
And
looked and looked and looked, unless you're an educational facility, even
yeah.
then it's so finely tuned to where you can't, there's no wiggle in there.
Yeah. And actually, what I meant was, I said grant, and I really didn't mean that. If you're doing government contracts, right? I don't know that you need to advertise for government contracts with the federal government, because again, I don't know how that process works. However, the way I see it, why would you limit yourself to just that? If you now have the ability to go out to the general public or to other business and industry, and even talk about, we've been doing government contract work forever, we're government certified or whatever that designation may be. Now we're expanding to help others because we now have the bandwidth. We're making a contribution to society by giving more of our resources to whatever. We'll come up with something that's fun to say. But at the end of the day, want to build your business? Let's tell people about it. If they're searching for what you do, then let them find you. But if you're not to be found, that's kind of dumb, right? I use roofing as an example, but if you're a plumber, if you're an AC, I'm thinking this, whatever it may be, if you're an engineering firm, for goodness sakes, what problem are people looking to solve?
How about if
Show
they're
up.
how about if they're looking for 3D printing for
Gee
buildings?
whiz.
Do we know
Gee
anybody
whiz.
that does that?
I do not. As the founder and executive director of the Digital Builders Association, I have
That
no
should wake
freaking
him up.
clue.
That should wake
Yeah,
him up.
I'm waiting for him to send me a message saying, "Wait, yeah." So
Come on, Ray, pay attention.
So net bottom line is, if they're searching for it, be there for them to find you. That's the bottom line.
Well, I will tell you this, that every single company that is registered and vetted to do business with the government is also
Yeah.
a commercial entity.
There you go. So every single one of them should be knocking on my door. I should be having phone calls till the end of time, and we need to hire people to take those calls.
Ray's awake. I'm here.
He is. He is.
Yeah, well, here he is.
He should be awake. It's
I'm here.
only
But
only
you're not
4:30.
participating, Ray. Ronaldo, pay attention.
Oh, this is pick on Ray time. No, you got to be nice to Ray. He's a
No,
good
we
boy.
don't. Oh, yeah. He's a big boy, rather, and he's young. You got to take your hits now.
They're all
When you
young.
start
They're all.
developing gray hair, which I have only in the back. Just if you see
They're
a
all.
little bit right there, I got a little bit of
I
gray
see.
hair going on back there. You don't want to see
I
it because it hangs all the way down on the side. I just slick it back like Guido. And but anyway,
TMI.
anything else we got to look at here?
I think we're good. I think I think bottom line is, and this is a really simple conversation. Who here wants an additional $10,000 a month for free from Google to advertise your business? If that's what you want, nonprofitcall.com, book a call, and let's get on it.
There's the link
that simple.
right there again.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, somebody just showed up. Who was it?
What? What's the question?
Are you sitting down?
Am I sitting down? I'm not. I'm standing up.
Hang on to something.
Okay.
Hold on a second. He's
I am
awake.
standing up. I am standing up.
Okay. Just found out my wife got pregnant yesterday. I need a hustle. I have a question, Ray. I'll let Ken ask it.
Was this Ray that said he just found out that his wife got pregnant?
He just sent it out. Yep. Now you already know the question. I'm not going to ask it. You're going to do it because you've known him far longer than I have.
I do not dare say anything other than congratulations. Do you know who the father is?
That's where I was going. That I didn't want to go. I wanted you to do.
I knew you wanted to go there. I knew you wanted to go there, and was it immaculate conception? So congratulations, Daddy.
Yep. Unbelievable. That's what happens when you wake up the monster.
Apparently the monster did its thing.
Well, see, I'm a smart ass, and everybody knows that. So my question to Ray is, is it twins?
I don't know. I didn't know that it was even a single.
Well, it could be trips.
Oh my God. Oh my
And the
God.
answer is ha ha ha.
Ray now needs 3 grants, one for each kid.
And a thank you to you for congratulations, even from me. That's fine. Let's move on so you can go do whatever. It's almost 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock, almost 5 o'clock here. So
It is.
let's
It
get
is.
you out of here so you can get some more work done because it's only 9 a.m. in
Yep.
Australia.
8:41 a.m. I will say thank you very much for your hospitality, young man, for bringing this information and education to those that you care about.
You do
And
realize I'm older than you.
I will continue to call you young man just because I choose to.
Oh, that's good. Ray says they
Yeah.
don't know yet who or what it is, even if it's a human. I told you we
Oh
were going to have fun.
God.
Let me get a little bit of promo here to tie it back to you. Okay.
Bring it in, baby. Bring it in.
I developed, founded, and started MarketUS back in 1986, back before most of the people I deal with in the government were even alive. And my first client was Michael Dell. And George jumped on me earlier because on Ray's promo, it was too long. So I'm going to cut it short, but I am going to give you where the heck is it? I had it here somewhere. Oh, there it is. If you want to get a hold of me, go to the website. You'll be able to catch this replay for those of you that couldn't stay around long enough or chose not to or just said, the hell with you. That's fine. At the bottom of the page, there'll be a link that says, watch the replay. I never edit my live streams. I never touch the video. All the mistakes, all the goof ups, even my gray hair showing is fine. And I'm a little jealous because this guy next to me, that the right way? Yeah, that's the right way. This guy next to me has got a full head of gray hair, and he's only 42 years old.
I wish I was 42 years old.
You're welcome. And
that was a long time ago.
That's my promo, and you know how to get a hold of me. On the upcoming live streams. I should have just changed it to live stream. You can rewatch this replay. You can watch Ray from 1 o'clock today, East Coast time, and reach out to us. And we'll help you get started with Ken and Ray, and we'll move on from there. And we're going to do a little bit of wrap up here.
Awesome!
And that's our wrap up. So from there, well,
that's great.
I do have to give you one sound effect.
Okay.
There you go.
I didn't hear it.
As far as I'm concerned, I believe we owe Ken a round of applause. And we're out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Well, by the way, for those of you that weren't paying attention, you're looking at the mistake right now on the left side of the screen. That's not the background I had before. People miss that. They just, oh, it's a wonderful beach. That's actually Siesta Key Beach behind me.
From what I'm seeing, it's a green screen.
Yeah, but you're green. You're in the green room part anyway.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Did anybody hit me here? Ray said thank you. Yeah, we got that already. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Ray messaged me. He said, this is a funny show, he says.
It has to be. If you can't have fun, do not come to work. Why should work be work, even though it ends in a K? I'll leave that one alone. We're out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Ken, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a great one.
I'm educated just enough to be dangerous.
Have a great one, everybody. Thank you.